I fapped 30 times in one day. The next morning, I didn't want to leave anymore. That was my lowest point, but that same day became my comeback. I first indulged into masturbation as a child. It started as an innocent escape from the pain that I was experiencing back then. My mother would not allow me to go outside. I basically had no friends, no real friends at least. And I would basically spend my entire life at home and at school, and both places were horrible for me. So I would come back home, and instead of do something about this, I would just basically use it as an escape. I would use pornography, I would use masturbation as a way to pleasure myself and to numb my own pain. But soon enough, from a simple escape, this turned into a way for me to hide from my responsibilities as a man. At school, I barely started talking. At home, I was silent, and I slowly became this lonely, addicted kid that has basically no future, and even I knew that, because whenever I would close my eyes, I could not see a future. How can you see a future when you basically jerk off every day? But that wasn't even the worst part. The worst part was when my online girlfriend, the one and only true relationship I had within this life, left me. And she didn't leave me only, I also left the will to live with her. And that was the moment when I finally got hit that, hey, I have no friends, I barely speak to my family, and I don't have any relationship with myself. And I hated myself. But then came the worst day of my life. I jerked off 30 times in 24 hours. And you know how bad you feel after you jerk off only once. Now imagine that times 30. I literally started feeling suicidal, like there is no more point for me to live inside this world anymore. And the next morning, I literally had only two options: die or fight, and nothing to lose. Thankfully, for some reason, I ended up checking a YouTube video and I got exposed to the new way of life that I'm currently living today. However, I realized that every single comeback follows this WAR framework. W for the will to change. I was willing to change. I was willing to follow the advice. And I wanted to change. I simply wanted and I desired to go out there and expose myself to the world so that I can finally see whether or not my thoughts are actually true and I don't deserve to live, or are they a cope. Then comes the A, the actions I took to do so. I started taking action everywhere I went. Gym, took action right away. You tell me to meditate, I took action right away. Journaling, reading books, everything that you can imagine that I wasn't doing, I was doing from this point onward, because I literally was so damn tired of who I was back then. And then finally, we have the result, because when you have the will to change, you take actions, the only rational thing that remains is the result that you will receive. And for me, the small actions of me doing push-ups every day, of me cleaning my room, of me quitting masturbation, slowly compounded in me having an amazing looking body, in me starting a YouTube channel which now is helping and saving lives, and you can hear me speak clearly. And on top of that, I've improved in so many ways that I can barely even count, because they are so damn much. I became a completely different person thanks to this WAR method. And WAR basically means you decide that you want to change, you take actions so that you do change, and as a result, you get wins that you slowly over time allow to stack upon each other. And the more they stack, the more you have them, the more the compounding effect works for you. And before you know it, when you open your eyes 3 years later, you suddenly have this deep sense of appreciation for who you have become, because you, my friend, are now somebody that you wouldn't even thought you would be 3 years ago. So if I was able to come back from 30 times in one single day, anyone can. It all starts with one simple choice. And if you feel like I was feeling back then, the honest reality is you don't need tricks, you don't need the habit trackers, you don't need to buy some expensive headphones to listen to some motivational speeches every day. No, all you need to do is just the desire to change. That's it. It all starts with the will. And if you're curious, and the rest will follow, and then action will follow, and so will the results. And if you're curious, what was my will, what was my choice to change, click on this video next, where I'm gonna explain to you what was mine and how you can utilize and find yours.